Hey guys, it's Michael here, and long time no see. I haven't posted a video in a really long time. Like I said, after Veda, I said that I was gonna take a break from taking videos because that literally drained me. I mean, drained me. Oh, it was a lot of videos. So I'm back. Yeah, today I thought I showed you the book that I bought in May, and then I'll also show you the books that I read and finished in May. And I've read a lot in May, which is super exciting because I just needed this boost of just reading, and it was really nice. So let me show you the books that I bought in May. One of the books I don't have because I'm letting my cousin borrow it because I've literally finished it so fast. I wanted her to read it because it was so good. So yeah, so one of the first thing is that the Bound of Books what happened in May. I did join it, but the thing what happened was I didn't realize because in the middle of that, I had to go on a trip, and so the thing is I forgot books to bring, so we went to the bookstore and I bought books. So yeah, first book I bought is Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. I have a lot to say about this book, so I'm just gonna later on when I review it. So yeah, I bought this, and then next I bought Shadow and Bone, which I also finished, by Leigh Bardugo. Yeah, I have stuff to say about this too. So yeah, and the other book that I bought during that trip is The Monsters of Templeton, by Lauren Groff. I haven't read this yet, so there's that. Yeah, the cover is really pretty though. It has this really nice look to it. That I only bought this because of the cover and it was inexpensive, so there's that. And then recently Memorial Day happened, so Books a Million, Barnes and Noble, they had like coupons and stuff. So the first book that I bought from Barnes and Noble, the book that I don't have, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secret of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Sanes. My Spanish isn't that great. So yeah, I did finish that book, so I will have stuff to say about it during my wrap-up section of this. And then a few days later, I bought two books. I went to Books a Million, and so the first book that I'm currently reading right now is The Bat by Joe Nesbo. This is a like crime fiction, I guess, mystery novel. There's like a million of these books, so I thought I'd start with the first one, of course. Yeah, this happens in Australia, so yeah, it's good so far. I'm like a little bit some parts through it, and then the next book that I'm super excited about is Grasshopper Jungle by Andrew Smith. This book is beautiful because the side is yellow. This neon is so pretty. It's really nice. I'm excited to read it. So yeah. So now I'm gonna show you all the books that I finished in May, and this is a lot of books. But like I said, this was a great reading month because I just needed to push to finish some of the books that for some odd reason, I've just been lingering on and I just haven't finished it. So yeah, the first book that I finished, I don't think these are in order by the way, but The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. This book is about a group of different kids who gets together and essentially have to solve a mystery. This is a great I think this is middle grade, but it's huge. First of all, I mean, it took me a good amount of time to finish reading this. What I love about this is that it reminded me a lot of other books. Like it was a combination of other books, like Lemony Snicket, like Series of Unfortunate Events, like Roald Dahl. It has some Harry Potter feel to it, so it was just great in that regards. The beginning is incredible. This is why I started reading this, because when you start reading the beginning, it's so awesome. and then the middle kind of is okay, and then the ending is like okay. So I gave this book like a 3.5 out of 5. I really liked it though, so that's what's really important. I will read the oh, that's my phone. I will read the next book in the series, which is really awesome. So yeah, and then after that, I've read Agatha Christie's A Murder Is Announced. Oh, this book is so good. I loved it. Well, I love Agatha Christie in general, but this one is about a murder where it's announced. So in the newspaper, it says this murder will happen at this time at this place, and then so the town starts to read it, and so they come by the house and they're waiting for the murder to happen. It's funny because the owner of the house doesn't even know the murder's gonna happen, but she's going along with it because someone thinks it's a prank, and then all hell breaks loose. What I love about this is because I don't know if I've read this like when I was a kid, because I could figure out who the killer was, and I was correct actually, which is awesome because it's always great when I can solve it. Because to me, like, I don't want to always be wrong. Like, I love to be wrong when I'm reading a mystery novel because that shock is awesome. But here I was happy I solved it. It was really good. The thing about this though is this is a Miss Marple story, so she's like a detective. The thing is she's not in here a lot. Like, actually she's hardly in here at all. But but it's a great book. So I gave this 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then the next book that I finished is If I Stay by Gail Forman. This book is hyped a lot on the booktube community. And then especially now because the movie's out and I have seen the trailer. And to be honest, I am not on this train. I wasn't really feeling it. I don't know what it was about. But in case you don't know, book is about a girl whose whole family dies in a car crash. It's not spoiling anything because it's in the blurb. But she's the only one that lives, and she has to decide if she wants to stay and live, or she go on to the afterlife. And I knew going into this book that it was going to be like a romantic young adult romance. I just wasn't feeling it. It went back and forth telling her life. Now, I didn't like the book, but there is this moment where there's this part where she and her boyfriend have sexy time, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, wow, this is kind of racy. It was like, cause she's a cellist, so yeah, I'll let you read that part. But it was really, I was quite surprised. But yeah, I thought this book was okay. It just, the hype for it was so high that I don't think it lived up to it in my opinion. I just didn't. I guess I don't know what I didn't like about it, but it just wasn't as mind-blowing as everyone says it is. So there's that. And then next I read Lord of the Flies by William Golding. This book is a classic, of course. I've read it before in high school way back when. But this book is about a group of students who a group of boys students who get stranded on an island and they have to survive. This book is, for a lot of people, it's their favorite book. I mean, it's Stephen King. It's one of Stephen King's favorite book. He said this is the book that changed his life, and I can see why. It's scary. I mean, it digs into human nature about how, in the end, we could be the most civilized group of creatures ever, but we're savage deep down inside. We have that ability to lose it all within a couple of seconds. And I love that. And this book is crazy, especially when you get to some parts of the occurrences that happen in it. But I really like this book. I mean, I've read it before, so it's just like a reread. But yeah, five. I gave this 4.5 out of 4.5 out of 5 stars, and the reason why is because I think this has annoyed me too when first time I read it. The way it handles quotations, it's kind of annoying for me sometimes. So, but this is a great book. The next book that I read is Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney. This is just a short, quick book. I read this really fast. This is about a middle school boy who just writes in his journal. And you know what's really funny? I really enjoyed this, and it's a funny book. It has some really funny moments. I read this in one day, and it was just a good laugh. I really liked it. It's funny because, like, I mean, I'm an adult, but when I read some of these middle school books, I can really relate to the characters, which is awesome. But yeah, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It was really funny, especially the comment about purses. Oh, it was so funny. But yeah, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. The books that I read on my trip, um, as I finished Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. This book is really hyped. I mean, super hyped on the booktube community. And I was not on this train also. I wasn't the biggest fan of this novel. In case you don't know, this book is about a girl, when she touches people, they die. So, yeah, the first part, I was like, oh, okay. And then, it just wasn't for me. I think it was too romantic. And I just wasn't into it, to be honest. And yeah, I gave this 2.5 out of 5 stars. It just wasn't for me. For some reason, I couldn't even connect to Juliet as a character, and I don't know why. The writing is actually not that bad though, but and there's some great like moment quotes from here. I just wasn't feeling it. And then this is, you know what, this I had the same experience with this with Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It seems like to be one thing, but then it switches to another thing. Yeah, I just was not really into this book. So there's that. But the next book that I read that is really hyped is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, but it deserves all the hype. I love this book. And you know, Veronica Roth have a blurb on here. It says, unlike anything I've ever read, and I've never read anything like this, and I loved it. It's this book is about, it's like fantasy. It's actually high fantasy about this girl named Alina who finally discovers she has something special about her. I'm gonna let you read it because I went to this book blind. Actually, a lot of these books I went to blind, but oh, it was so good. I love the world building, which was awesome. And you know what? This is a perfect example of just enough of a love story that I didn't really mind it. But I loved it. I love the character development. I love where the story's going. I'm really excited to read the next one, Siege and Storm. Ah, love this book. It was great, great. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. And then the next book that I read was Push by Sapphire. I have seen Precious the movie, so I kind of knew going into this. I knew what was gonna happen. This book feels weird though because the first like 2/3 of it is great. Like the writing, it's just like a stream of consciousness. So it's about this girl named Precious. Well, yeah, Precious, and you know, it's just her daily life, and you get to see who she is as a person. I really loved that, especially the beginning and then the middle part of it. The thing is, the ending feels completely different from the first 2 parts. It like changes this mood that it's kind of jarring almost because it all of a sudden like all of a sudden she knows how to write and read, and the writing changes, which is it happens so fast. Like it kind of surprised me, but it's still a great great novel. I really enjoyed it. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars at Goodreads. And then the next book that I read, which is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secret of the Universe, which I just recently finished. I don't have the copy of it, but let me tell you, this book is really hyped. I mean, really hyped. It has all these awards on the covers, and everyone on BookTube talks about this book when they read it that they loved it, and I loved it too. Wow, that's basically the only word I can say after finishing that book. Basically, it's about two boys, Aristotle and Dante. It's from Aristotle's point of view, and their friendship. I loved it. The last time I felt the same feeling that I felt after reading that book was when I finished reading Catcher in the Rye. Um, it was a book that just, both of those books just, I loved it. I love how it was so easy to relate to, to Aristotle. He was just like a 15-year-old boy, and he was just going through things in his life, and I just loved it. Like, the story is really slow paced than especially some of the faster paced books I've been reading, but it was just so good. I went to this book blind. I didn't know anything about it, but it was just the most pleasant surprise I've read this year. I loved it. I love it so much. I think it's up there. It's definitely up there with my top books of the year so far. I recommend this book wholeheartedly. Of course, I gave it 5 stars out of 5. This book deserves all the hype. It deserves it. It deserves those awards. It's such a great book, and now I'm just gushing over it. So yeah, but I really recommend that book. I think it's a great novel. Yeah, and you know how after I finished that book, it made me want to read Catcher in the Rye again. I just, oh man, that book was really good. So yeah, recommend it. So yeah, that's my wrap up for May. In June, I'm reading a lot, trust me, because I'm trying to tackle these with my TBR, and it seems to be growing every minute because I keep buying books. But yeah, let me know what you guys read. I would love to do that. My phone's going off, so someone keeps texting me. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Oh, side note, got a new hair color.